Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Rooted podcast. I'm so excited to share the second episode of our Jane and Finch narrative series featuring one of my good friends, Devante. He's a chiropractor in Toronto and the GTA, and he has such wonderful lived experience coming from the Jane and Finch community and what it takes to be a health practitioner. I'm so excited for you folks to hear his story today. Hi, Devante. Thanks so much for coming.
Yeah,
It's
no
really
problem.
nice to see you. So I just wanted to start today's kind of podcast with asking you why become a chiropractor?
Yeah. So after we finished kin, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, and then one of my friends, he was working at Good Life, so from there I became a personal trainer. Just seemed like the easy route for me. And then after a few years, I felt like it wasn't challenging enough. I kind of got bored. I didn't
Yeah.
want to keep doing it, so I ended up through someone else applying to chiropractic school. So while I was a trainer, I really realized that I liked the rehab aspect of things. So I knew I wanted to do something in that realm. And physio felt a little bit too similar to what I was already doing. So
Right.
then I just happened on chiro with my friend.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's really cool. So you were doing like some in your personal training work. You were doing some forms of
Yeah.
rehabilitation.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
found that so like weight loss and weight gain, like getting people bigger, like that was cool. But what I really liked was when someone came in with an injury and then I was able to get them out of that, or they were able to do something that they couldn't do before. That was the thing
Yeah.
that really, I guess, gave me gratification. So
Yeah,
that's
a little bit more purpose. Yeah, to
exactly,
kind of
yeah.
continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really nice that you're able to find that. Can you talk a little bit about how rewarding it's been to be a chiro and like what that's been like?
Yeah, it's only been a short amount of time, but it's been just seeing people's faces from when they first step into the office, especially their first time, and then when they leave the office. It's been amazing. So even today, before I came here, I was training a woman. She had some back pain or some like upper rib pain. We did an adjustment. She said, all weekend, like feel like I've been stuck. And
Yeah.
then we did the adjustment. She felt so much better.
Right.
So just things like that. It's a simple thing for me, but just to make people get out of pain just for whatever amount of time. Like
Yeah,
that's really what
and that's
drives
really
me.
yeah, of course, it's really nice. And I'm assuming that you know, in a lot of occupations, I guess you don't really get to see it right away. But
Exactly,
probably
yeah.
in the work that you do, sometimes an adjustment right away will give them kind of
Right.
relief, and that's
Yeah,
really
exactly.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess a little bit about our background is that we went to kinesiology together at the University of
Yeah.
Toronto. We met there, and yeah, we did our undergrads together, and then we kind of split off and we did different things. But can you tell us about some of the? Because I know that you didn't go to chiro right away. You worked. I know you said that
Yeah.
personal trainer. I think that
Yeah.
was for how many years?
So we graduated in 2016, and then I was a personal trainer for 4 years before I applied to chiro school.
Right. Yeah. So you had some like work experience. What
Yeah.
was that? Like, what benefited you? Like, did you find that it benefited you when you went
For
back
sure.
to school?
Yeah. So I'm not really sure if that benefited me, but there were some things that I learned as a trainer.
Yeah.
And not even just like the working out things, but how to be more confident was the thing that I learned the most. So I always tell this story that I had this patient who was a very big businessman, and I was really like timid around him. I guess I was intimidated, but I was kind of intimidated by people that I don't know in general.
Yeah.
So I just remember every time that I saw him, he would just kind of force me to be more confident and just kind of, because if I said things timidly, he wouldn't do them.
Right.
So over time, it just gave me more confidence to actually be like, no, like I know what I'm talking about. You need to do this. And then from there, so I remember my last placement in school for chiro school, my clinician was like, I wish that all of my students had the confidence that you have. And
Oh, wow.
for me, like 8 years ago, nobody would have said that.
Right.
So it's just amazing to see how it transferred for me.
Yeah. Oh, Matt, that's so nice. What a nice compliment
Yeah, I
to
know,
hear,
yeah.
especially if it's something that you're working on.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it too. Like, as a professional, as like a young professional, it's hard to feel like you have a lot of experience or
Exactly.
confident going into spaces. I feel that
Yeah.
a lot as well, and you kind of have to, like,
Yeah.
like I guess, what do you tell yourself in the scenarios where you know, you can choose to be confident, or you can choose to be timid. Like, is there
Yeah.
something that you say to yourself, or a technique you use?
Not really.
Yeah.
I just now I kind of do it. But once you know in yourself that you have the skills to do something, that's one thing that helps a lot. But the other thing is that people are looking to you as the professional,
Right.
as the yeah, I guess just as the professional in your field. So if you don't know what you're doing, or pretend, or not pretend, or seem like you don't know what you're doing, they're not going to have confidence in you, right? So you have to exude that confidence so that they trust you and they know that whatever you're saying, they should not necessarily believe, but like they need to know, they need to trust. Yeah, exactly.
No, 100%. And like as you grow as a professional, I think that becomes a little bit more easy for you, because you, again, like believe in yourself, and you know in yourself that you can do what you are like doing. You have a little bit less imposter syndrome, but it still continues, I think, as you can as you go on. What were I'm curious about like what some of the challenges that you face, because like obviously we also, not only did we go to Kim, we also grew up in the Jane and Finch community together, and that's like was a big part of our identity going through undergrad, which was kind of like a fun thing, but also like things that were challenging. What were some challenges that you faced when going to Chiro school? Because it is, remind me how many years it is and like what that was like.
4 years and a lot of money.
Yes,
so, yeah, so definitely the money part was difficult. So again, coming from where we come from, we don't come from a lot of money, so that part was definitely tough. I mean, OSAP helped a lot with that, and then so working beforehand for 4 years, I was able to save up a lot of money. But if I didn't have that, I probably would not have been able to go to school. So one of the things that like newer or people that are applying for Chiro school need to realize is that you need a line of credit. And if you don't have a parent that has, I guess, like a good job or something like that, you're not going to be able to get that line of credit. So it's really tough. So my uncle, he owns a helicopter company in BC. So I was able to get a line of credit from him, but like you have to be very lucky in order to get those things.
To be able to get a loan for professional school, because it costs a lot of money, and
like,
OSAP doesn't cover all of it. It's just part, right?
And some of my peers, they were 4 years younger than me, because they just went right out of school. They had the money to do it. Some of them had $150,000 line of credit. It was
easily,
like exactly,
their parents or whatever.
Exactly. So it was definitely tough for me to do that. And then I guess part of you feels like, okay, well, should I be doing this? Should I be spending this much money for this thing? But so it's tough to invest in yourself sometimes as well.
Yeah, because you're making that active decision with the time as well. Was there, I think for me, like going back to like professional school as like an older person, and having your friends have, they're working full-time jobs, and they have all this lucrative, like they're pretty lucrative, depending on kind of how they live, and you are kind of in this weird place. Did you ever feel that?
So for sure, it kind of felt like you're setting yourself back a little bit, right? So you have to overcome that in your mind, like, okay, it's okay. It's only 4 years. I'll be 30 when I'm done, and I still have the rest of my life to do everything else. But even that 4 years, like I was one of the oldest in the program, and it felt like sometimes I didn't belong there.
Right. Yeah. Can you, do you feel comfortable talking a little bit more about that? Because I think that, like when I think people don't quite understand, when you're in like a higher level of education, whether it be professional school or like graduate studies, the types of people that are in those spaces are usually those who have the privileges from their parents, like to be there. So I often felt like I didn't belong in the spaces that I was in too. So I'd love to hear like more a little bit what your experience was like.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. So when I went to U of T, I kind of felt like, okay, I have my people here, right? Like I felt so comfortable with everyone. And at Chiro school, I didn't really feel that, besides the people that I came in with. Like it felt just kind of separate. Like I didn't identify with anyone besides my group, like at all. So like I don't really have any friends from there as the same that I would have had from U of T.
U of T, right? So,
yeah, that part was difficult. And then I guess just being older, like same thing, you don't really identify with the younger generation as much.
So kind of like tough. what they're going through is a little bit different than what you're going through, especially if they just went through undergrad. And that's like, when you have a little work experience too, you come from the world of like understanding what the outside world is like and the working world is like, but if you stay in school, sometimes you don't have that perspective. Was there a challenge with like, because I know you worked as well, so that was like probably working in full-time school, that probably was something too. But the transition in you choosing to switch, so like was that, or like from going from personal training to do it, was that like a tough decision, or what was that like?
I think because it was during COVID that I started, so that honestly that blessed me a lot. So when I went into Chiro school is when COVID was just easing up, I guess. So this was August of 2020.
Right.
So if I had to, maybe if it was 2019, it would be a lot harder for me to switch from having a full patient load to switching to school.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that difficult at that time because COVID was on, so I lost a lot of patients during then, which was tough because you're not making as much money, but I
Right.
needed, like, school was a lot, so I needed that time.
Yeah, it was almost like the universe pushing you in that direction,
Exactly,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's interesting because I think we both entered kind of school at the same time as well. Like I
Yeah.
entered my PhD during that time, and I think it felt like it was the right
Yeah.
move because you got some time to also reflect on like what
Exactly.
you wanted. So
Yeah.
it was like a nice little push from the universe to get you in the right direction. Is there like any like what are kind of some of the big lessons that you've learned kind of from your journey or even like in the work that you do now?
Yeah. I think the biggest one is just to, like you were saying about the universe, just kind of trust the universe. So everything always works out how it's supposed to. Like I could draw a line from where I was to where I am today because of the people in my life, right? There's
Right.
always been a line of people helping me to get to where I am.
Yeah.
So, but it's also, you need to take those opportunities. I think that's probably where people, they're not confident enough to take those opportunities. They just think, okay, well, maybe I could do this thing, but I'm not sure. Like, you need to make a decision and actually go for something, right?
Right.
'Cause a lot of us just kind of let our lives pass us by, but we need to actually like get a grip on things so
Yeah.
we can actually take our lives in our own hands.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And I mean you said a lot of really important things. Like having a support system is really important and having mentorship or whatever it might be. And I don't think there's like a lot of that seen because you always see
Yeah.
the successful person, but you don't
Right.
see everyone that kind of was with them along the way. Like you were a large part of my success kind of in undergrad and kind of starting my degree, and that was pieces too, but you don't really see those people because
Exactly.
they're behind the scenes. And a lot of the times I think people have trouble choosing something because I guess they don't want to fail
Yeah.
or they don't want to choose wrong. Like everyone's kind of afraid of doing that, but it's
Yeah.
important to still choose and try.
Yeah.
Is there kind of switching gears? I know that you are like a creative kind of outside of the work that you do. Is there any creative things that like are that tie to your chiropractor work? I know like you have separate things,
Yeah.
like Devante's also like a photographer. Like, is that how you would describe your creative work?
Yeah, I guess so,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But like, is there anything that's creative in the work that you do as a chiro? Do you find?
Not in terms of like art, but I like to be challenged. So I think that aspect of things. So sometimes you need to be creative with how you're treating a patient, right? Not all the patients are the same. Some of them have different goals. Like you need to be creative in your process and how to get them to wherever they want to be at.
Right.
But yeah, that's as much as the creativity needs to be.
Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of like a fun art in itself, right?
Yeah,
Kind of like
for sure.
figuring different plans and
Yeah,
exercises
exactly.
and things like that
Yeah.
will work for people. And
Yeah, and that's what makes it so much more fun for me.
yeah, because you like to solve problems, I think,
Exactly.
right? Always been a big
Yeah.
problem solver. And getting to know people is like really nice too, and like
Yeah.
getting like understanding how you can support and help them.
Right.
Is there like aspects of the like the job that like brings you stress? And I'm sure that it does. And maybe kind of along the way on your journey, you had stressors. Like, how did you overcome
Yeah.
those? And
Yeah.
what are your coping
So-
mechanisms? Yeah.
So people tell you not to bring work home, and I
Yeah.
always bring it home.
Right,
So
yeah.
I'll be up for I don't know how long, just researching conditions and things like that, and
Yeah.
how to treat them. I guess like I'm not a perfectionist, but I want to do the best job that I can. So I'm really focused on like treatments and whatever's going to make the person feel better. One thing that I wasn't aware that I would have to deal with was like the emotional stress of what patients are going through.
Right.
So like I've been told about abuse and
Yeah.
like physical. I've been told about like monetary abuse and things
Yeah.
like that, like divorce. Like it's been a lot more than I thought it would be.
Right.
So you kind of have to. I kind of take that home and try to figure out, okay, like what can I do? But really, there's nothing you can do about those things. You just have to be there for someone to talk to, right?
Yeah.
And I realized that too when I was a personal trainer. A lot of these people I would see more than their own families, right? So you become, I guess, a friend or like a confidant with these people. So you need to just be a good listener, be there for them. It's something that I never thought that I would have to do, like in this
Right.
line of work, but it's really important.
Yeah, interesting. So, I mean, I had no idea, like, I know that some people feel very comfortable with someone who they trust. And I know oftentimes practitioners wear multiple hats. So it
Yeah.
sounds like you at
Yeah.
times may be like a therapist as well,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is difficult. Is there, like, what do you do in those scenarios? How do you yourself separate the work from that? Is that something, it sounds like that's something you're still working on, but
Yeah,
have
yeah,
you found something?
yeah, because I wasn't sure how to deal with it at first. I'm still trying to figure it out because you can't really offer any advice. Like it's not really your place to do that. So my first line is to refer them or ask them if they have a therapist or something like that, or a psychologist, anything like that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's outside of my wheelhouse. But then I also ask them if they have any support at home.
Yeah.
Because that's your biggest line of, I guess, support, right? That's who you fall on when you need to, right? So if people don't have support, it's gonna be a lot harder for them to get through things. So that's mostly what I ask.
Yeah, and I think that's like what a trusted person would do. Like that's kind of the best that you can do, because you don't, like, you're not responsible for their emotional kind of the things that they're going through emotionally and personally. You're kind of more helping them on like the other side of it, like with what kind of the physical or whatever it is that they're coming with.
But it's all intertwined. So like if someone's really, really stressed out, so as someone with jaw pain, one of the biggest things with that kind of jaw pain is stress, right?
Yeah.
So I basically told her, unless the stress is resolved, like this thing is going to keep coming back and coming back, right? So we really need to make sure that you're sitting down with the therapist and trying to figure out everything that you can in order to reduce some of the stress that you have in your life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That sounds to me like you have a pretty like holistic philosophy.
For sure.
Then.
Yeah.
Is that do you have like a philosophy or practice, or have you thought about that?
I just noticed it when I was a trainer. So I noticed that when clients were stressed out, they were performing like way worse than they usually do. And so stress takes a big toll on your body.
Yeah.
So I realized that with working out, and then I also realized that with people that are in pain. So I guess so when there's an issue, I try to look at the whole picture and not just, okay, this is like this boo-boo right here is what's causing pain.
Yeah, and that's good, because I think oftentimes like there's not a lot of time, I guess, that practitioner has to like look at the kind of the overarching piece. And you even asking about support is really big, because I'm sure you send home exercises or whatever it might be, or get them to do certain plans, and if they don't have the support, the time, the space, the resources, like that's all stuff that you need to consider. So it's really good that you do that. I'm wondering, and I'm thinking that you probably have learned, like, we talked a little bit about lessons that you've learned, but what kind of advice would you give to like a young adult who may be thinking about going into chiro?
Figure out money.
Because
that's the toughest thing. Once you get past that, you'll be fine. But it's the money. Like, so it's a private institution, so they can charge whatever they want.
Right. And there's only one in Ontario, right?
Yeah. There's two in Canada and one's in Ontario.
Yeah.
So it's very tough. It's something that you have to plan way in advance for. But like, I wish there was something more for people from our community, because like growing up, I've never been to a chiropractor or anything like that. I couldn't afford to do any of those things, right? So it'll be helpful to, I guess, kind of see where, like, I guess the different options available to you, instead of just this narrow path that you're given from when we were young. But yeah, really it's just like working hard, and you have to kind of fend for yourself. So, you know, even if it takes you an extra 4 years like it did for me, it was worth it, right? Like, you need to save up that money in order to do what you want.
Yeah.
And it gives you, like, going back into school, even though it was tough and I didn't identify with the younger crowd, I felt like I didn't need to at sometimes. So I felt more, I guess, confident in myself too. So that's another thing I would say. Just like get the confidence in yourself to kind of do whatever you want. Right.
Kind of build that into yourself. Is there, like, what are ways that like someone could do that? I know that obviously, like, doing something that you enjoy and you feel you have purpose in can bring you confidence because you feel like you're good at something. But is there anything else that you can see?
Yeah, the opposite of that. Do something that you're not confident in. Something that you're not comfortable with. So when I started personal training, like, I was pretty shy. Like, besides with you guys and people that I knew, I was very timid. I didn't like to talk to strangers or anything, and that really kind of brought me out of my shell.
Right.
And just doing something that you're not comfortable with, that'll make you so much more confident in every other aspect of your life.
Yeah, that's really interesting to me, because you're like quite obviously like introverted, I guess. Would you?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Our friendship was always really interesting, because obviously with us, like, we could discuss things, but that was probably something that was like challenging for you to have to meet people and be able to connect with them. But I guess you found a way to be confident in that, and do you seem like you enjoy it now?
Yeah, a lot better than I did from before. I was very scared before, but now I feel like there's there's like this fine line, I guess, for me where I'm not sure if I can like be myself with certain people. So I kind of like walk that line and then get to know them first and then kind of go from there.
Yeah.
But at least now I can have that conversation with people without feeling like, okay, this person probably doesn't like me or they don't want to talk or all these things that you tell yourself. But now it's like, okay, just do it.
And
right?
then whatever
just
happens.
do something. Exactly.
Yes, yeah, and whatever happens, happens. Yeah. I like there's a lot of I think like confidence building is really hard, especially when you come from the communities that we come from because there's like a deficit mindset that you grow up with, meaning like you feel like everything's against you. You always kind of see a lack of resources versus like having a lot of resources, and that's hard because you go through the world feeling like you're not enough all the time.
Yeah.
But you are, and I think that like young people are, and it's just something that you kind of have to tell yourself. And it sounds like you had some experiences to kind of be able to feel that.
Yeah.
Is that something that you still struggle with, like feeling that you're enough kind of in the work that you currently do?
Sometimes, yeah. If there's an issue and I guess I can't solve it or like it keeps coming back, things like that. But right now it's mostly about like not being as busy as I would like to be. I mean, I'm only 6 months in, but still it's just like constantly asking yourself, okay, did I make the right decision? Like I spent all that money, am I going to get it back? It's all these things that you have in your head. I think, like you said, it's the deficit mindset. It's like you're so worried about everything that you can't let yourself just relax and go through the process. Exactly.
Yeah, and be like, wow, I'm here. Like I'm a chiropractor. I didn't, like 4 years ago or 5 years ago, like I never saw myself here, and it's nice that you're even working and doing things. But yeah, I can imagine it's hard, and I think like we kind of align and pretty similar in aspects of like perfectionism and like knowing that it's really difficult to kind of be in a professional setting with that mindset because you're just trying to control all these uncontrollable things.
Exactly.
But that's something that it seems like you are trying. I guess sounds like you're working on that, and it's something that you are overcoming. Is there things that I don't know you're working on right now as a professional, and things that like you found that you reflect on a lot?
Not really, but like I just keep telling myself it'll be okay. Like it always works itself out. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's also not like making sure that you're not too comfortable.
Yeah.
Like you give it a certain amount of time, and then if something's not working, you got to switch it up. Like nothing changes if nothing changes, right?
Right.
So you need to do something in order to get yourself where you need to be.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really, really good thing to hear, and I think like it's. People are. I think it sounds like the young adults are always like. I mean, because I teach a bunch of them, and I like at the university. I feel like they're always like, "Is this the right way to do it?
Right.
Like, is this the way to get?" I know they're trying to get certain grades, etc. But there's also like a structured mind that they seem to have, and I know school does that, which is unfortunate. But like breaking out of that sounds like something that is important to be able to think for yourself and like try different things and fail at things.
Exactly. Yeah. Like providing yourself structure is important too.
Yeah, and the structure like you want, right? Have autonomy in that. Yeah. So I want to leave the audience. I don't know if you have like a final thought that you wanted to share about kind of the work that you do, or anything you wanted to like if you had a crowd of young people in front of you, like what you would say to them, kind of as a last thing. You can take some time to think about it. I know it's kind of like a big question, and it doesn't mean everything. Like it's just a small part of like what you've provided today. But I don't know if you have any thoughts.
Yeah, I think the theme of today has just been the confidence. Like I think. No matter what you do, just have confidence. Even if you don't have confidence in it, just show confidence. Yeah. Right? Like you need to, sometimes you have to do it to believe it. Yes. Right? It's like fake it till you make it kind of thing. Yeah. Right? And like lean on the people that are around you that support you. Like if you constantly tell yourself that you're not good at something, that's what you're going to believe. Yeah. Talk to the other people around you that you're feeling that way, because they're there to support you. They're going to tell you you are good enough. You're doing the right thing. Yeah. You just got to just let it go. Yeah. No, and that's a great, I mean, I'm glad that you brought that up, because like there was a bunch of research that's like when you are talking to yourself in a certain way, like subconsciously you do start to believe that, right? Exactly. Like they were talking about aspects of like age and like if you keep thinking like you're old, you're gonna feel old. You're not going to try to do certain things. But it's also in the same way, if you keep thinking like, oh, I can't be like, there's no way I'm going to be able to speak in front of a crowd. You won't ever be able to kind of do that unless you kind of tell yourself that you should be there and you can. Exactly. So I'm glad that you said that, because I think that's like a voice that we often hear, and you just need to say like,
we can do this. It's okay. I got you. We're going to try this
Exactly.
thing, and we're going to kind of go out there and do that.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if you've ever read The Happiness Advantage, but
oh, no, I haven't read
no.
that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the things that the author talks about is, I think, confirmation bias. So like, if you're telling yourself negative things, you're going to look for negative things and tell yourself more negative things.
Yes.
Right? So one of their, I guess their cheat codes for that is to write 3 positive things down in your day, right? So you're actually looking for positive things in your day and then kind of rewiring your brain
yes.
that way. So that's the same thing. Like you could look at one thing a day where you actually push yourself to do something outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And you could write that down and say, okay, look, I actually did this thing that I don't think I'm that great at, but I actually did it, right?
Yeah.
So anything like that, just to, again, boost your confidence and
For
show
sure.
yourself that you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, and that's like a really tangible thing that people can do. Like I know like gratitude journaling, these things are really becoming very popular. A lot of like happiness researchers like Laurie DeSantos, who's out in like Yale University, she created like the happiness course that really made happiness like this big discourse. And one of the things is like talking about delights, like what are, instead of like grateful, like, and things like that, they're going like, what delights you? And you can just say like, well, I'm delighted to be talking to my friend Devante today. Like that was a nice thing for me to kind of like wake up and not think about like maybe some work that I don't want to do and be able to actually like hang out with a friend or whatever it is. Like these are all things, and it's small things too, like the sun is out, or it doesn't have to be anything like super large. But you're right, when you start to think about it that way, you can rewire, because I think we have a negatively bias, right? That's the way our brains work. So it's good to kind of flip that on the positive side.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I appreciate so much your time today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing all of your knowledge. I think it's gonna be really helpful for young people who want to go into like the field of healthcare, and they can plan for that, really.
Right.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.